Hi besties, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Stels. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for tuning in. I talk about a lot of things, but majorly today I'm talking about relocation. Because a lot of times I come to this platform to air my views about relocation, air my views and provide my own story of how I relocated to Canada. But today I just wanted to be chilled because there's a subject that is ongoing that I like to bring about trending issues once in a while because I feel like it's good that people are talking about these things so that women can actually learn, not just women, men and women can actually learn from these things as well. So if you don't know and you're just stumbling upon this story upon on my platform, I'm like, where have you been? Popular actor Emeka Ike has been in the news for a while, and he started off being in the news by acting in a movie, to Abraham's movie, and having like a comeback to the Nollywood scene. But that was not just it. It didn't end there. We don't even know if the movie is great. But what is making him popular and making the rounds on the news right now is him coming out to talk about his wife and certain things that had transpired. Now, this is no news because several years ago he did this kind of interview and actually he talked about his wife and all of this situation. But now my question is, why bring it up again? Is there anything recent that has happened that would warrant you to bring it up again? No. So why bring it up again? And what is even making the rounds right now is after he made that interview, his wife, that has been silent for over the years, came out with his son to have an interview with Trudy, and they aired their views. These views were not great. They did not show this actor in a good light to the public. So let's dissect this one by one. First of all, I think that what he planned to do was a PR stunt for the movie. Like, you've talked about this issue about your wife, some men blackmailing your wife doing drugs. You've said this thing a couple of years ago. Um, you've also mentioned that you lost your school. You spent 100 and something million on that school. You've mentioned this before. So I didn't see the relevance of mentioning it again when you're trying to premiere a movie that you just acted. I didn't see the point because it's not as if you are begging this woman to come back, or it's not as if this woman is begging you to have her back. You've moved on. You're married and you have a child, I think. So what is the purpose of bringing this story back into the limelight? Even if the interviewer asks you a question, there's a way you can shrug that discussion off the under the carpet because that is not the purpose of you being in that interview. You made a massive comeback to Nollywood to be in the big screens, and what we could see is you airing your dirty linens in public and talking about how your wife colluded with people to come and marksmen, how your wife took your school under you. As in, that was, to me, that was like the major part of the interview. I did watch the interview and I'm like, what is all this? I thought you just, made a movie and you wanted to come and talk about the movie, but no, right? So me, I feel like that was a PR stunt to keep him relevant in the news. People want to like really get to know things like that. And since he's relevant in the news, they want to see the movie he acted, right? So I feel like it was a PR stunt that went bad. I don't know if it was orchestrated before the interview, or I don't know if he just thought about it while having the interview, and that was what he felt like. Okay, let me say this will make this interview trend because a lot of people don't watch all these interviews except there's a story behind it. People don't really watch like I know there are countless interviews that celebrities have had, but you don't see me going to go and search interview of Genevieve or interview with, except there's something the person said that, will make me to like just like what happened played out. Because of that thing he said, I had to go and watch the interview. So that to me I felt like was a PR stunt that went bad because the wife has been silent for all these years, and he did not expect there should be a comeback from her. He did not expect her to come out, even with his son, to come and respond to these allegations, right? So there's so many things he mentioned in this current interview that did not tally with what he said over a couple of years ago. The internet never forgets. You can try to say A now, and in a couple of years say B. Someone will bring your playback and say, okay, but you said this a couple of years ago. In the interview he had a couple of years ago, he said the school at which he built or renovated, I don't know, but his school cost over 100 and something million. Now, in this current interview, he said it cost over 400 and something million. Guy, pick one struggle. He said a lot of things that were just it was more like a script. I think he has acted the movie so much and so well that he feels like he can play movies in his, I don't want to say in his head. I think he feels like he can just write a script and everyone will buy that script. Because he first of all said in the previous interview, he said that the one I watched, he said his wife was blackmailed. He doesn't know if they were holding her sex tapes. He doesn't know if she was doing drugs. And now he's saying that his wife is conniving with this marksman. Like, I'm not really understanding what his agenda with this story, or what he's trying to make us believe with this story is about. Now, the wife came up. If you don't understand these things I'm saying, please go and watch the interviews first and come let us talk in the comment section. So the wife came out to say that she was emotionally abused, she was physically abused, and that she couldn't take it anymore. So she mentioned several instances where he would beat her up. She also mentioned that there was a time he beat her up and his PA was actually watching and peeping. Um, and the PA came out in an interview with Daddy Freeze and mentioned that this was not the situation, that he wasn't watching and peeping, he never beat her, that it was the wife that hit the husband. You know, me, I was like, PA, what is your own? what do you stand to gain in coming to grant that interview with Daddy Freeze? Anyway, Daddy Freeze issue is something I'll talk about again before the end of this video. So, like I was saying, she mentioned that bit, and she also mentioned that uh, he said that he begged her in court to have him back, but she said that that never happened, that he never begged her to have him back. Mentioned situation where she also mentioned situation whereby his mother, Emeka Ike's mother, tried to um, rough handle her own mother, and she intervened, and that was how they carried it and said that she beat his mother up, and she never did that. First of all, and she also mentioned one incident of where she was in the hospital and she was trying to negotiate because they couldn't afford to pay the fees first before, and the child was sick. Then Emeka Ike came in and started making scenes and saying that why can't she handle the situation and all of that. And she called him a jerk. She said she went to the car and he came, and the first thing that she met was his fist in her face. So I'm going to talk about a few of these things. A lot of women get subdued by men who are empowered. You met this man when you were very young. Obviously, he was older than you with maybe more than 5 years. She said she was 18 or so, but they got married when she was, I think, 21. So you met this man, you were very young, you were naive, you had a bright future ahead of you, you're so beautiful, you wanted to go into modeling. He has started telling you you can't do the modeling, started telling you so many other things. He doesn't want you to cry if you lose your pageant. These are signs you should begin to see that, oh, this guy does not even want me to achieve anything in life. He doesn't want me to attain anything in life. Okay, according to him, he was buying you cars and you were enjoying all the cars. But in her story, she's saying that there were certain times they didn't have money. So I'm trying to understand, okay, who is saying the right thing and who is trying to make us believe otherwise. So the two stories are not adding up. We can't even say who is right and who is wrong, but I just see signs of a woman who was not who lost her self-confidence. The reason she stayed that long is because she lost her self-confidence in the marriage. The man tried to bully her into believing that she can never attain anything outside him. Men that feel like they are your all in all, like you can never be better if you leave them. So I can't foresee say if he physically abused her, but that emotional abuse seemed to be there. It's evident, when someone tells their story, um I don't know. There's a way you can actually do that. You can see some consistency in that. So I feel like, yes, she didn't come out when she did the divorce and say, oh, that he beat me. But the divorce paper obviously went Nigerian court system. I don't really know how that court system works, because whenever a celebrity files for divorce, is news, public news. Even if the celebrity did not come outside to say it, but I don't see confidentiality in the Nigerian judicial system for someone to come and file a divorce and it gets to the news. I'm amazed at how that happened. So that was the first time. That was when we heard about the domestic violence when she filed for divorce. We didn't hear about the domestic violence before the whole thing happened, though. So for her to come out and do that, I feel she has been abused in a certain way. Maybe physical, I don't know, maybe emotional, I think so. So it's very, very disheartening, because this man has moved on. He has remarried. why not just, while in the interview, why not bring about your new marriage? Why not talk about your new wife? Why not talk about the good things happening to you? Why bring about that old hurts? Why bring about that old? So because that's why I actually categorize it as a period stone gone bad, you know. So right now, a lot of people are on team Emeka Ike's side, saying that um Emma, that the wife, that's Emma, was just out there to hurt him. According to him, he loved her, but she didn't love him. And the way he even painted this woman, you know, he mentioned something while he was talking to the interviewer. He said that he's sorry for young men out there that they might love someone that doesn't love them back, and they just go out and pick the flashiest girl, or the girl that likes to club and may not be the right girl. And this woman does not look like someone, like when I see her old pictures, she doesn't look like a club girl. She doesn't look like, so that narrative is just a picture, it's just a movie script in Emeka Ike's head, you know. That's what I feel. Because he was saying things that did not suit her character, did not suit her persona. She might be someone that can instigate you to be angry, maybe say some things that will make him angry, just the way she admitted that she called him a jerk in the hospital. Maybe that's her personality, yes. But you won't tell me that this girl did not legitimately love you. Because come on, she or you cannot tell me that this girl was out to ruin you. She did not even seem like that person. All the actresses that have come up to talk about the situation mentioned that Suzanne or Emma was not that kind of person, that she was a very calm person. She even has that demeanor of a calm person, right? So guys, tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think that Emeka Ike is making up this personality in his head, or trying to make us believe that the wife is a bad woman that is trying to blackmail him, that took his cool and all of that? Because he made another interview recently with one YouTuber. That video is not actually going viral. I don't know why people are not watching that video, but I did watch that video, and he mentioned the story he mentioned again about coming back to meet his properties, his school taken away from him, is a little slightly different from what he mentioned in channels. Because in channels, he said he went with just one suitcase and he came back to nothing. But in that interview, he's mentioning that his security guard told him that Madame said he should pack all the belongings to another house, and that he never he gave the security man about 30 something of thousand naira to pack the luggage, that the security man got killed at the way, and he did not get his luggage back. So it's, the stories are just divergent. Like, I'm not seeing the correlation in what he said in that interview and this other YouTube interview, you know. So I'm a little concerned about that, because I don't believe this woman will just. So what happened? Did she? So say the full story. She took your school, and is she currently running the school? No, the school is shut down. From her own testimony, she says that they were actually owing. They were actually owing, and she also negates that they did not spend 400 and something million on that property. You know, so just a lot of controversies, a lot of controversies. The one that even got me the most was the son's reaction. Like, when a son calls his father this guy or this man, is over. Like, I cannot be in a conversation with somebody and I call my mother this woman, or this or that woman. You know, once a child does that, just means that they don't regard the parents to be anything, because these children lived with you for a period while your wife was away. There is every tendency that they should love you more. But from the stories, it seems like there was neglect, because you left them, you traveled to Germany, you left them to be school. And he's saying he put them in the best schools. It's not about putting your child in in the best school. It's about, were you there for your children? Were you actually there for your children, or you just left them to the mercies of uncles, aunties, or house helps? You know, so these are things that people should actually consider before making public justice or making public judgment on certain issues. You know, people are saying she abandoned the kids, and she tried to win them back by talking bad about their father. So many team Emeka Ike, team Suzanne, team the son, and all of that. Then people are now even talking about the son, that he should have never come out to talk bad about his father. But when you're in a situation whereby someone is bad mouthing your mother, you're not a child. That guy is above 18. I mean, the son. You are there. Somebody is talking bad about your mother, and you've already understood what the situation is, and you feel like, no, this shouldn't be right. I feel he has every right to come out and talk and say his own. Say his own. If he was underage now, maybe I would like, oh, you shouldn't have come out. But this is not a young boy. You understand? So I feel like him coming out to say his own bit was not a problem because he had to clear the air. Because in Emeka Ike's video, Emeka Ike is always saying that my children can never say that I beat their mother. But now your child is coming up to say say the opposite. So now I don't know what to believe. I wouldn't say the woman brainwashed the son. I don't think so because this is a grown up child. This boy is already grown, you know. And when he even played that voice note, I felt so hurt. You know, the kind of things, I don't want to mention them here. Go and watch the interview with Chudi. The kind of things Emeka Ike said to the son. Like, there's some things you don't just prophesy in your son's life. There's some words you don't use towards your children. The way people hold some words and words actually affect people and actually influence their decisions in life sometimes. You might just think you're saying some things to some people, but it can actually make them lose their self worth, make them lose a part of them that would have not been lost if you had said that thing that you said. Okay, so Emeka Ike's choice of words were totally wrong. He shouldn't have said some of those things he said to his son, regardless of what the son said. And the son, I'm sure, out of anger of listening to what he said about the mother, was in that space of talking back at the father. So that might have actually ignited him to say a couple of things. Um, was the boy right to come out? Like I said, he's an adult, so coming out to speak his mind is no issue. And he has also said in the interview that the father does not support him when it comes to his craft. I listened to Daddy Freeze. Daddy Freeze is another person that I feel like he's fueling this situation because now he's calling friends and families. He just interviewed the PA that Emma mentioned that was there when he hit her, and that one has debunked it, saying that she wasn't, that was not what happened, and that she hit the actor. And I'm like, of what benefit is you coming out to say that to the public? Like, of what benefit is it? And that if Freeze even going ahead to search for the PA to interview the PA, to me, I don't feel like it was uncalled for. And I see him interviewing a lot of other celebrities talking about this issue, Victoria Yama, and some other veteran actresses that have been friends with the couple a couple of years ago. You know, this man has aired his own view. The woman has aired her own view. There is no, if they are fighting for anything, property, whatever related, let them go to court. But this one is much like social justice to claim who is right or who is wrong. So all these many interviews that the Freeze is actually um, carrying on, to me, I feel is uncalled for. I just feel he's trying to just generate clout with these people's affairs. To me, settling down to everything, I just feel like Emeka Ike did not see this coming, as in the comeback from his wife and his son. He didn't see this coming, and he just wanted to pull a PR stunt to make his interview, viral. I think that was the goal for him, to make his interview viral. But anyways, that's my 2 cents on it. If you have anything to say about this couple, please put it in the comment section because we learn every day, right? And a lot of people coming out to say that, oh, that the wife ripped him off. He had to start from scratch. I'm like, how do you know? Were you there? A woman that left a marriage, if this marriage was loving and there was nothing wrong with it, and she wasn't working, she had nothing to fall back on, why do you think she would leave? What kind of blackmail is he talking about? Did she kill somebody? What was the issue? Why are they trying to blackmail her? She never came out to say she was blackmailed. So I don't know. I really don't know. So that's my 2 cents on this bit. Put your remarks in the comment section. Let's know and let's dialogue. Okay. I'll see you there. Have a nice one. Happy 2024, guys. Love you.